Hey, what's going on, man? Coach Tyler here with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and I got a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole Daily Show. Today's episode is brought to you by the Carolina Patriot Collegiate League. I'll leave a link for you down in the description below. We have a brand new college softball summer league coming to the Carolinas. It's going to be taking place during the months of June and July. Please check the link below. Maybe you can get some tickets. Maybe you can help out. Whatever it is that you can do, go check that stuff out, man. The link will be down below. As we get into today's episode, I do want to recap day 2 of the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Man, it's been a great tournament so far. Really a lot of good action. As we talked about it yesterday, sort of recapping the first day, we're going to do the same thing today. I had a couple of big games. First and foremost, the UCLA win over Nebraska. What a great game. 9-8 win for UCLA. UCLA looked really good. Nebraska looked really well too. I mean, two teams kind of at a crossroads. You have Nebraska losing Jordy Ball for the season after sort of coming into this season with high expectations just because Jordy is there. She's back in her hometown, playing for her home school, that kind of stuff. And then you have a UCLA team that's trying to find its identity. Very young, been dealing with a lot of injuries, still has some really great leadership with Maya Brady, with Worley. Got some great freshmen coming in. With Addie Metler and some others. So there's a lot going on with UCLA. And I think before the end of the season, they're going to right the ship and they're going to be there. So maybe this weekend they're able to kind of get off the schneid, if you will. We had a really good game between Cal and Hawaii. Cal was able to get the win 10-2. Rutgers beats Cal Poly 8-7. Northwestern fell to UCLA 1-0. Another great win for UCLA yesterday. Oregon beats up on Notre Dame, gets them 8-2. Long Beach State beats BYU 6-4, which again was another great game. Oklahoma, Mississippi State was another good game. I thought Mississippi State was going to be able to hold it closer. They weren't able to. Oklahoma gets the win 9-3. UCF falls to a great Missouri team. I'm telling you right now, I've been talking about them early this season. Being in the SEC, you know, everybody's going to talk about LSU and Florida and Alabama and these types and Georgia, and rightfully so. But I'm telling you right now, Missouri is playing some really good ball. They got really good pitching staff. They got really good bats, and, man, they have speed on the bases. So as we get further into the season, as we get into SEC play, I'm willing to bet that Missouri is going to be there with the big dog. So stay tuned for that. Wisconsin's able to get a run rule victory over San Diego 8-0. Oregon beats Long Beach State 11-4. Seattle University beats UC Riverside 6-0. Oklahoma is able to get the run rule victory over Wisconsin. That's a 10-2 win. Missouri beats Cal State Fullerton 3-0, and Utah holds on to beat San Diego as well. So as we get into UCLA just a little bit, I want to get into that first game we talked about, UCLA and Nebraska. There's a lot of good action in this game. I'm going to recap this game over on the YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out. That's youtube.com/@foulpole2foulpole. Maya Brady had a heck of a game yesterday, leading off for the Bruins. She went 3 for 5, had 2 RBIs on the day. Looked really, really good. Jordan as well. Jordan Woolery played really good defense. She went 0 for at the plate, but she was able to get 8 putouts, so she looked really good in the field yesterday. Again, Megan Grant had a great day. She had a walk, she had a hit. She also had a 1-run scored. So looked really good, played really good. If we get into the pitching side of things, UCLA went through 3 pitchers. Caitlin Terry, Jada Cecil, and Taylor Tinsley. Taylor Tinsley was able to come in and kind of shut them down there in the bottom of the 7th. So it's one of those games where UCLA started out hot and they got 4 runs quick and early, and then they were able to sort of hold on there at the end and got 5 runs late in the 7th. So a really good day. Defensively, did have some errors yesterday. UCLA ended up having 4 errors overall. So not that great looking defensively, just looking at the box score. But some of the plays that were made yesterday were absolutely incredible. Some diving catches, a couple of double plays. Looked really good at times. Nebraska went through 4 pitchers yesterday. You had Olinsky started the game, gave up 4 quick early. All 4 were earned. She only faced 6 batters. So it's kind of one of those, they jumped on her and put her out of there. Sarah Harness came in, only gave up 2 hits, no runs. But then Kayla Kinney, she tried to finish out the game and get the dub, but ended up gave up 6 hits, 5 runs of those, and 4 of those were earned. Ended up walking 3, striking out 2. Had to bring in Emerson Cope to kind of finish things out. But at the end of the day, I think both teams are headed in the right direction. Nebraska's sort of trying to find their identity now. UCLA 4-4 after this game, and then, of course, gets that dub a little bit later on in the day. So, for me, I like where sort of college softball is. With these different early season tournaments, you've got like the Clearwater that kind of got ruined due to the rain, but you have tournaments like the Mary Nutter and others where these teams can kind of come together, get outside of conference play, and really put on a show and play some good competition. As we jump into the Missouri UCF game, great game all around. Missouri jumped out in front early. After 2 innings, Missouri was up 3-0, and we thought we had something going there in the 4th with UCF, but really couldn't get nothing but just that 1 run, and Missouri was able to hold off sort of that rally. All in all, I think where Missouri's at in the SEC, they're just playing really good ball. I mean, they're putting the ball in play. Yesterday, they were able to rack up 9 hits over 6 at-bats. So 9 hits over 6 innings. Looks really good. UCF was able to put the ball in play. Couldn't really get much going. Chloe Evans was able to get 2 hits on the day. Really led the team in the batter's box. She ends up getting that 1 RBI. Jada Cody, she is a heck of a leadoff. Couldn't really get anything going yesterday. Had a strikeout. And then again, you have Shannon Doherty that plays a mean first base and really couldn't put too much together. So Missouri playing good ball. UCF playing good ball. 2 really good teams. UCF hovering right around 500, and they're able to hang right there with Missouri. Missouri right now is 13-1 on the season. So, like I said, be on the lookout for Missouri team. Oklahoma was able to get that 10-2 win over Wisconsin. Did what they had to do. Nothing too flashy, nothing too crazy. Played solid defense. No errors on the day. They were able to rack up 6 hits. So that tells you that Wisconsin had a couple of walks, had some errors. So when you have 4 walks and you put that with the 4 errors, man, that is 4 extra base hits, right? That's 4 extra people on base for the errors, and that's 4 extra people on base for the walks. So you have a total of 8 that were pretty much unaccounted for. And if you give Oklahoma, 8 extra outs, they don't need them. So big day yesterday for Cassidy Pickering. She was able to go 2 for 2, had 2 RBIs and scored 2 runs. Looked really good all around. Ella Parker was your DH. She went 1 for 2 but scored 2 runs, had a walk as well. Kinsey Hansen looked really good playing defensively. She did everything she needed to do. Tiara Jennings, she ended up having an RBI, but went 0 for 2 at the plate. Had 2 putouts with 2 assists. Alina Torres played a really good second base. She had a couple of different putouts, but she moves so well up the middle. I don't think there's really anybody that moves up that well up the middle. Kelly Maxwell had a really good day. She threw 4 innings. She gave up 3 hits, gave up 2 runs. Both were earned. Had 4 walks. Lost her command a couple of times, but the zone seemed to get a little bit tighter as the game went on. She faced 17 batters, so she looked really good overall. Shelby Jacobson and Tessa Magnanimo, they both pitched for Wisconsin. Shelby went 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 6 runs. 5 of those were earned. Had 2 walks with 2 strikeouts. And then Tessa came in, gave up 2 hits, gave up 4 runs, but only 1 of those were earned. So if you go earned runs, it's a 6-2 victory. But if you give Oklahoma extra base runners, extra outs, that kind of stuff, they're just going to punish you. So Oklahoma looking good so far early this season, and which we figured they would. Not a whole lot else going on. Today we are looking at some good matchups. They're the Saturday at the Mary Nutter is always a big day, if you will. I'm looking forward to a couple of different matchups, and I know you guys are as well. If you don't have Flow Softball, try to grab that. It's not the best coverage, but at least you're able to kind of keep the game on, maybe put it in the background so you can hear it as it goes on. A couple of big-time Saturday matchups for you. I'm looking forward to the Oklahoma-San Diego State game. I think that's going to be probably the one that most people are going to be paying attention to. That's going to be at 12:30. Also, you have UCLA in a couple of back-to-back games. You have UCLA taking on Illinois, and you have them taking on Baylor. So UCLA coming off a big day yesterday, looking to keep that going. And then you have Missouri and Baylor playing a little bit later on. Also, you have Central Florida taking on Tennessee, which is a big-time matchup. I want to be keen on that one. I want to see if Central Florida can hang with the power of Tennessee and if they can be able to manufacture a couple of runs against that Tennessee pitching staff, man. I'm telling you, Tennessee is lights out in the circle. Another good matchup that I don't know if too many other people are paying attention to it, but for me, I think it's a big game. It's Mississippi State versus Fresno State. I think that's a big matchup. Mississippi State sort of trying to bounce back from yesterday. And then you have Wisconsin versus Long Beach State. I think Wisconsin is able to take that game, but Long Beach isn't a slouch. So a couple of big-time matchups today. And then as we're looking into Sunday as well, you have the UCLA-Tennessee matchup at 2. And then as you start to move into the regular season, everybody's going to get into conference play. And then I think the chips will start to fall where they may, and we'll see some of these teams sort of stand out within their conference. ACC is stacked. SEC is stacked. Those are my two favorite conferences to watch just because it's so up and down. You'll have a team that will take 2 out of 3 one weekend and they're looking great. And then all of a sudden they'll get swept by someone you think that they're supposed to beat. So I love the matchups, especially at the top with the SEC. And you got like Alabama and LSU and Florida and Georgia. You've got Missouri and others. And, can Central Florida, do they have something for Oklahoma this year? Or is Oklahoma going to walk away with the conference? So, man, there's just a whole lot going on. So, appreciate you guys checking this one out. If you would, please go over and check out the YouTube channel. We have our game highlights, a little bit condensed games. We'll take that hour and a half long game and we'll put it down into about 15 or 20 minutes, just showing you the highlights, breaking down a little bit of stuff like that. So check that out. It's youtube.com/@foulpole2foulpole. And we're always pumping out highlights and stuff. So just check that out. If you know someone that likes softball podcast and that kind of stuff, make sure you share it with them. Just say, hey, check out this podcast, whatever. And if you share it with a friend, be sure you tell them you love them.